Hello and welcome, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. We are doing the week of the 7th to the 13th of August 2023. I have got an oracle deck, and this is the Signs of the Times Oracle. I have got a tarot, which is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, and I have my charms on the table here with us as well. So we're going to use a combination of these three tools to get the guidance for the week ahead. So I'm going to shift these out of the way slightly so that I have some space to shuffle the oracle. Let's get into it, air signs. So this is for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We are looking at the week of the 7th to the 13th of August 2023. We're asking for a clear message, a message of guidance, a message of inspiration, and a message of focus for the week ahead. What is this week going to be all about? What is the lesson that we're going to be learning? What is the thing that we need to be focusing on? What is important and significant for the week ahead? All right, I'm happy with that. Let's have a look. What is the theme for this week? Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have got card 23, which is the card of the moon, and it is the card of emotions. So this is clearly saying to us that this week we are going to be dealing with some emotions. I'm just going to shuffle the tarot while we chat about the moon card. So a couple of things about the moon card, right, is that the moon, every minute of every day, the moon is different to what it was the previous minute. The one thing that we know about the moon is that it is ever changing. It is also going through cycles. So sometimes it's full moon, and then sometimes it's new moon, as we can see there, new moon. And what is new moon? New moon is time for new beginnings, time for setting intentions, time for deciding what the next 28 days, the focus of the next 28 days are going to be. And what happens when we focus on the moon cycles, it helps us to sort of take a year and handle it in little bite-sized chunks. Instead of trying to look at a big picture, like if you break it down into smaller little pieces, it almost makes it more manageable for you. But the moon is also what controls our emotions, the tides of our oceans. It is about the cycles. And if you think about emotions, emotions are very cyclical, aren't they? Because we have happy, we have sad, we have angry, we have frustrated, we have all these different emotions that come through. And the moon is what triggers that. So you will find that a lot of people, masculine and feminine, everybody is affected by a full moon. Sometimes it doesn't affect you as much, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it brings out the crazy in all of us. So we had a full moon last week. So this week we don't have a full moon, but Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, it looks like you're going to be dealing with a lot of emotions. Let's see if they're happy emotions, sad emotions, what they are from the tarot. I'm only going to deal out 3 cards from the tarot, because then we're going to add a charm to each of them as well. So the first card we have is the Hierophant. Second card we have is the Queen of Wands. And our third tarot we have is the Seven of Wands. So immediately we see we've got the 2 Wands cards that have come through. Wands is the suit of action, it's a suit of doing. We've got the Queen, and we've got the Seven, and we've got the Hierophant. And I notice how the Hierophant's colors across the bottom here with the orange and the black match the orange and the black there. Before I talk about those, I want to just add some charms. So I just need to push these up ever so slightly, because I'm going to stick the charms across the bottom here. 1 charm for each of the tarot. So let's see, a charm for the Hierophant. Just giving a bit of a shuffle, grabbing 1 from the bottom. And oh, I have a an old-fashioned cell phone. How cute is that? When last have you seen an old-fashioned cell phone like that? Right, so we have got communication. Let's get a charm for Queen of Wands. Shuffling around, and I am grabbing, what am I grabbing? That one. So that is a lotus flower, which is about change and transformation and coming through the mud. And then let's get a charm for the Seven of Wands. I had a whole bunch there and I didn't want, I just want a single one. So, all right, what have I got? Oh, look at that. Okay, so this little charm is a block with a letter R on it. And I use that to represent, because R is my name, I use that to represent what we call a significator. So when I do a charm reading for somebody, I normally put that charm down and then I read the charms in relation to that. But it represents the person, okay? The person I'm doing the reading for. So that would be you guys listening to me right now. So this is saying that where our focus needs to be in this particular reading. So let's have a look. We're starting off with the moon. We're starting off with the emotions, understanding that that is the theme for the week ahead. We've got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, as you can see in the particular artwork here, is the teacher. So he is the teacher and he is teaching his students. Everybody has arrived at class. Everybody's hanging on to his every word. We've also got the little cell phone for communication. So this is saying to you that the lessons that you have learned in the past and the lessons that you are learning this week, it's important that you communicate them well. Remember, communication is not just the sending of the message, but it is the receiving of the message as well, because communication is a two-way street. So the Hierophant here is talking about the lessons, about the learning, but it's also saying to us that sometimes we don't have to overcomplicate things, because sometimes the lessons, the truths, the morals are actually quite simple. But we've got the communication device here, we've got the cell phone coming through, which is telling you two-way communication. So whatever's going on for you this week, make sure that you are receiving the message clearly and make sure that you are giving messages clearly. So double check your communication. All right, with everybody this week, because again, we do have an emotional week. When we are emotional, we don't speak properly. We don't express ourselves properly. We tend to be too emotional, so we say all the wrong things. We say too much, we say too little, we say all the wrong stuff. So we need to make sure that our communication and our understandings are on point this week. Very important, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. With our Queen of Wands, so she is conducting I nearly said a choir. She is conducting an orchestra. And man, oh man, she is fabulous. Like, we've got fireworks in the background. We have got paparazzi, click, 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 click. And we have got everybody in the orchestra so focused and actually doing a phenomenal job. But she is what is driving, leading the orchestra. We have the lotus flower here, which, as I said to you, was about growth and transformation and coming through the mud. How did she get there? How did the orchestra get there? Through a lot of hard work and perseverance. And she's having, she's putting on the performance of a lifetime, as is the orchestra, as is everybody else. Everybody is doing the performance of a lifetime, which brings really heightened emotions, like I want to almost say excessive emotions, okay? Heightened excessive emotions, that there is so much going on. There is so much to celebrate. There is so much to acknowledge. And again, in those moments, we can often lose our ability to communicate, to express ourselves properly. So we've got here about focused attention, and here we've got excitement and exuberance and all of those kind of fabulous things. But it's also about understanding the growth, of reminding yourself of how long it took you to get there. How much work did you have to put into it? How much effort was it to get to where you are now? And let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate the lessons, the learning, and the teachings that have brought us to this place. And let's celebrate the emotions behind that as well. The energy shifts when we get to this card that we apparently really have to focus on, okay? We have the Seven of Wands. Now, here we have some, what is the word? Protesters, right? I'm going to keep it simple. We have some protesters who are pro-tree in this particular case, and here we have the police force who are just doing their job and keeping the protesters at bay, keeping the protesters away from whatever needs to happen. So who's right here, And I think for all of us, we jump between, because sometimes we're there and sometimes we're here. Sometimes we're protesting some kind of action, which is again highly emotional, and sometimes we're here on the defensive, pushing the protesters away because we disagree with them. And it's about understanding that that's what the balance of life is. That's the lessons of life, is that sometimes we're here and sometimes we're there. And you might find yourself this week flitting between these two camps. Okay, these two strategies, that sometimes you're going to find yourself being the protester. Sometimes you're going to find yourself being the policeman. Sometimes you're going to find yourself being the student. And sometimes you're going to find yourself being the teacher. Sometimes you're going to be the person who is playing your instrument to the best of your ability while everybody focuses on the conductor. And sometimes you're going to be the conductor. Sometimes you may even be in the audience just appreciating and enjoying the music. But all of this is very, very heightened, excessive emotions, up, down, and all over the place. So air signs, your week ahead is going to be full of emotion. It really is. It's going to be full of emotion. And all you have to do is focus on communication. Focus on the way that you express yourself, the way that you understand what's been communicated to you. Understand that you have come through a lot. You have achieved a lot. You have succeeded in so much. And now it's your turn to shine. It's your time to shine. Focus on you this week. I love that. Focus on you this week. Do not focus on anybody else, whichever camp you fall into, because whichever camp you're in is right for you at this stage. Pay attention to your emotions and don't allow them to drag you off course. Stay on your path, stay where you are, and know that everything's going to be okay. So air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, wishing you an amazing week ahead, as always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.